the arm to look at the movement of the wrist and hand in relation to the shoulder. So we just remind ourselves of the anatomy of the area, then obviously we need to be aware of what makes up the shoulder. Shoulder obviously from the other day, and its interrelationship to the elbow. So obviously when we look at the elbow itself, it's not quite as complicated as the shoulder, but still complicated enough, and still an area that can go horribly wrong. So a lot of problems that emanated from the shoulder, refer obviously down to the elbow, wrist, and hand. Like we said the other day, you get impingement of nerve roots within the neck, obviously with the thoracic outlet underneath the pectoralis minor, and from there you get referral down into these areas. This can either be direct nerve root compression causing weakness of various muscles, or problems with sensory deficit going all the way down to the fingertips. So obviously this area is subjected to a lot of stress and strain. So you can either get problems locally, or as I say, they can actually refer down from the neck and shoulder region. So let's remind ourselves that when we look at the actual elbow itself, you have the distally on the humerus. Here we have the capitulum, which is a nice rounded joint as such. It's actually quite rounded in relationship to the radial head. When you look at the radial head itself, it's actually slightly concave. So that allows the accessory movement of pronation and supination. Of course, the true elbow itself is really just the olecranon sitting in the olecranon fossa. Okay, so obviously this joint allows a hinge-like movement, and it's the true elbow joint itself. Okay, so obviously at the distal end of the humerus itself, you've got quite a few attachment points. So on the medial epicondyle, you actually find the ulnar collateral ligament as such. So if we look at that, that's into here. In the medial aspect, you've got the trochlear and the medial epicondyle here. So attaching to that, you've got the